What's up, guys? Crave here, and yeah, I don't know when I can sort of upload this video, but as I do this voiceover, it's been an hour since I finished Falcon Lost for the first time on hard mode, just hard mode, and it took about 40 minutes, yeah, with a random group. I know some people probably do it in less time, and some people have probably done it on day one. Well, first of all, for the skilled players, yep, they can do it just like that. I'm sure they can. That's why they're called skilled players. Now, of course, with the recent, discovery of the glitch again with that mobile cover thing, yeah, I'm sure people farm it on a never-ending, do that never-ending farming for the instance, and yeah, I've never done any glitches in this game. It's just I don't know, maybe I'm just a square or something, but yeah, I have never done the glitch with the mobile cover thing, so I won't show you that. I'm sure, well, you can see it everywhere on the web anyway. It's on Reddit. I wouldn't be surprised if IGN had it. I saw a YouTube video on it, someone posting how you actually go through it step by step, and you just bomb the APC to death like it, it's crazy. Well, it's a glitch, it's an exploit. So yeah, and also just want to mention for this group, one of the members, you can see right there in the lower right, the guy, one of the guys there, Finald, we kind of got stuck on the last wave. We really didn't want to know what to do, mainly because the explosive was in the middle of the room. And to Finn over there, he did a pretty ballsy move where he just went ahead and grabbed the explosives. Of course, we were talking about it, well, in voice chat, but yeah, props to him for just being ballsy about it, because we were stuck in that area for about 5 or 8 minutes, I think, and if it wasn't for the move that he made, I don't think we would have finished it, or yeah, yeah, but thanks to him. And yeah, and about the video, yeah, you're watching it right now, but I'm gonna cut parts of it, mainly because I just want to talk about how Ubisoft and how the game is being handled in terms of the exploits and glitches. So I will insert some text on how you can do it, but it's basically just handling the 15 waves and just making sure to plant the explosive every time that it's available, making sure that at least one of the turrets is offline to make it manageable, pop survival link, and yeah, it's a horde mode thing. And like I mentioned in my previous upload, yeah, it's not something I appreciate, but I just really wanted to get this one done to experience what it's like to finish it. So yeah, so again, just expect some text for as explanations as I go through my thoughts on the whole Falcon Lost thing and glitching and Ubisoft. Yeah, so the amount of exploits and glitching in the Division. Now, I know there's a whole lot of this going on the PC, but yeah, I don't think, as I've been reading some forum posts, and I don't think it happens a whole lot on the PS4 or in the Xbox platform, but I could be wrong. But yeah, anyway, on the PC platform, there's a whole lot of glitching and exploits going on, and it's such a shame. First of all, mainly because this game, I find it that at the very core of things, the game is really good. They've got an amazing concept here. It's nothing new. Cover-based shooters aren't amazing. Aren't anything new. But the way they made it is that it's such a good game. But it's lacking in many aspects. You would have expected more features for a game to come out in the year 2016, and you're also hoping that you wouldn't have come out with this many exploits that players could use to finish content or to basically get one over other players, especially in the dark zone. You've seen that in YouTube. Also, some of the exploits, the players who use the bug to be able to fly and drop in on other players, or players being able to farm other players from outside of the dark zone or some area where you're not supposed to be. And I find it frustrating when that happens, mainly because it's not supposed to be happening. Now, let's say it's a normal thing. There will always be a player who will try to find a glitch in a game, and the additional frustration here is the speed in which Ubisoft or Massive reacts to such glitches, and it's just not fast enough. And take for example the backpack glitch. Okay, a glitch, not an exploit. It locked out some players from the game, and it's not like they had access to their other characters. It was simply a lockout, and they couldn't really get into the game. And the response time for it what took such a long time, and the fix, the actual fix, waited. Players had to wait for patch 1.1, and that's just simply too long. I believe it was 2 or 3 weeks for some players, and when you think about it, that's simply too long. Not being able to use a product that you bought for that much of a time, it's just not right, and it frankly is just really slow. The way Ubisoft or Massive reacts to situations, you would have expected a faster response. For a situation like that, being locked out of your game, and it's also the same. I mean, especially now with Falcon Lost, it's new content. It's horde mode content. It's new content, but with this glitch right now, it should be fixed within a few hours. It's just not right that you're able to allow certain type of players to just farm content, mainly because they found a way to exploit the system, to be able to farm it without end. Escaping certain mechanics and stuff like that. So that's the one thing, I guess, is Ubisoft's ability to respond quickly to situations, whether it's a glitch in the system that needs to be fixed that prevents players from accessing their account, or basically addressing exploits. Take, for example, if you remember, just prior to the Incursions patch, we lost the ability to queue up for, or at least being able to find on the map the daily hard modes and daily challenge modes that reward you with the extra Phoenix credits. Now, it took about 10 or 12 hours for Massive or Ubisoft to acknowledge it on Twitter, and that's just simply too long. I mean, it's a basic feature in the game, and you would think that people would have, they would have, been aware of the outcry of the missing source for Phoenix credits. I mean, people can always say you can farm Lexington, you can farm whatever instance, but that's not the point. The point there is that it's supposed to be a feature in the game, and I know there was this information where it was actually in the code of the game that the daily and challenge mode missions or daily rewards for Phoenix credits would actually stop on Incursions date or prior to patch 1.1, and that sort of gave people the idea that Ubisoft either had no plans after the Incursions patch, or they wanted to change things up. And it doesn't matter what the plans were or what their intentions were. The point is that it took so long for Ubisoft or Massive to respond. And when you think about it, why does it have to take so long, for the guys to implement changes? I mean, in other games, I'm not saying all games, in other games, most developers would immediately patch the content. Now, going back to this Falcon Lost thing, it's a major patch. I mean, it's 1.1. It's not another decimal value added. It's really a major patch. And Falcon Lost, in terms of PvE content, it's the only major addition to it. I mean, you can say there's assignments and stuff like that, but really, in terms of new content, Falcon Lost is your only new content. And it's frustrating when people can just actually glitch the system, find an exploit to sort of make other mechanics of the content meaningless or trivial, or you can just simply avoid them. And now we have people running around with more green gear or set gear or gear that basically pushes up their gear score total to a much higher level, and people are going to be thinking, okay, since their gear score is around close to 200 or 200 something, then they might be people we should and could invite to our groups. It's not like I said, gear score in a previous video. I mentioned this. Gear score is not indicative of any skill. There's always the risk that if you're seeing someone with a higher gear score, and with all this rampant glitching happening right now, it leaves you to wonder whether they actually know how to play the content or not. And that's always been my issue with gear score, as with any other game, one being World of Warcraft. It's really not indicative of skill, but I suppose developers can't really help it. So there's really no other way to measure player skill unless you're running with guilds or clanmates, which reminds me, this game still doesn't have a guild or clan feature. So but anyway, that's another topic. But that's one thing about this whole glitching of Falcon Lost. You now have a bunch of people in game. You're not sure whether they finish the content the right way or not, so they could be full green for all you know, mainly because of their gear score being so high. But you're not sure whether they know how to actually finish content or whether they actually have the patience to talk with you in voice chat to just go over strategies and stuff like that. So yeah, this whole glitching and exploit, these are some of the drawbacks to it. But like I said earlier, you can't really do anything about it. I mean, developers can't see everything about their game, and of course there will be gamers out there who will, make it a point to find the exploit, the next glitch that they can, use to their advantage. But one thing that Ubisoft or Massive can do is actually respond faster to issues, whether it be an exploit or a glitch or something, a bug in their system. Even a response from their I don't know, from their customer relations team, or whatever team you want to call it, it just simply has to be faster. With Falcon Lost, especially for this one, since this is your major PvE content, Ubisoft and Massive really have to respond faster and patch things up. It's really not right that it takes so long for them to respond. I mean, I wouldn't have cared if I wouldn't have finished. It would have bothered me, yeah, if I couldn't finish Falcon Lost. But I wouldn't, at least, I wasn't, I wouldn't be the kind of person who would be proud to have said, I finished it merely because I glitched it. So, yeah, I really wish that Ubisoft or Massive would respond faster to issues, glitches, and exploits. So yeah, a pretty long rant about the state of the game in terms of glitches, bugs, and whatever exploits you find in it. And I really hope that Ubisoft realizes that they can do so much better, as they do have a pretty great game in their hands right now, or they have a really great game that they're managing right now. Yeah, I would like to see them do right by their game in a better way, in a much better way, manage it better, so that people can have the right kind of fun, not get frustrated by people who exploit, and not sort of cheese the system just to get what they want. I mean, I don't think they really wanted their game to be like this, so I just hope they do better in the coming days, not weeks, not months, but days. And yeah, really just respond faster to all issues that they encounter, or we players encounter. Anyway, just sharing my thoughts about Falcon Lost, or the glitches in Ubisoft in general. Thanks for listening, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.